Hey everyone, how you doing? It's me, Nudger, back with a reaction file. Well, this isn't a reaction. This is a video that I've found that will help a lot of people who have already had, or if you ever get the knock on the door from the police. Now, the video I'm going to show you is by Barrister. What's his name again? Sorry, let me just. He's just Barrister Barrett, Stephen Barrett. Okay, who is a barrister, so you can't get any better than that. Some legal advice for you. And what he's going to do is tell you the correct way of dealing with the police when they knock on your front door. Okay, now I know there are thousands of videos on, I'm not just going to say social media, Facebook, on here, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all over the place. There are thousands of videos of the police knocking on someone's door for whatever reason. You know, most of it today is to do with someone putting a post on X that someone's gone, I'm offended, rather than just scrolling past. Yeah, no, you can't help these people. You really can't. They're pathetic. But let's have a listen to Stephen Barrett and what he's got to say on the subject if the police knock on your door. If you're not already subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you would do me the honour of hitting the subscribe button, and also give me a thumbs up, guys, because with that, that's important, because if I can get everyone that watches this to give me a thumbs up, the algorithm will put it out to more and more people, which I think people need to watch this. Okay, now he's only put this up a day ago and he's had a lot of views on it already. So let's have a look. How many views has it had? It's had 175,992 views in a day. So let's see if I can get at least 1,000. Can we do that? I'd really appreciate it. Okay, guys, here we go.
Hello, I am the barrister Stephen Barrett. You may see me in other forms of media. I try to make law accessible to everybody because it is your legal system and it is important that you understand it. And I wanted to make this short video to address an issue that I think many of us are now afraid of, which is the knock on the door from police officers. I think far too often we have seen police officers knocking on the doors of innocent people over social media posts or things they may have written on Facebook or Twitter or videos they may have made, and really it's about the idea that you have offended someone and that you have committed a crime for offending someone, which is something I think we as a nation will have to address eventually, and I look forward to when we do. But in the meantime, while we live
Offending somebody's a crime. I mean, come on.
in these dark times, it struck me as useful to give a guide, a legal guide. Well, I can't give you independent legal advice. I'm not giving anybody who watches this video legal advice, but I am reminding everybody of the laws of England and Wales. The laws our Constitution fought 1,000 years to grant us the rights and protections of, and I want you to all know how to be safe. So, imagine the scenario. You've offended somebody. The person you have offended has reported you to the police, and the police have lost their way. Let's be polite to them.
Being completely honest, the posts that I've seen on social media, if when the police turn up at the door, like when they want to talk to someone, you can normally see the look on the police, like the copper's face. It's like, I really don't want to be here doing this. You can see on a lot of them, they don't want to do it. They know it's pathetic. They know it's a waste of their time and resources. But sadly, it's the higher ups within the police that make the lower ones, the basic bobbies on the beat, let's say, do this ridiculous job, and not all the bobbies enjoy it. They really don't. Because they've got better things to do with their time. They would rather be out helping someone get their phone back that's been stolen. They would rather be out there helping the poor old lady that's been mugged, you know. But it's their higher ups, because it's all targets and figures and numbers that has to be reached. That is why a lot of coppers do it. I have done a video previously of an ex-police officer who sits down and tells you exactly why he left, and you'd be surprised, you know. So let's carry on anyway.
In the modern sense, the officers have got very confused, and they've decided to come knocking on your door. We've seen the videos now. This is too common. It happens far too often. Right. The first words are words all British people should cling to always. Stay calm. Don't panic. You will. That's natural. If you're a decent, law-abiding person, you're not used to the police knocking on your door. Okay? And I think most of us just should take a step back and think about that and reflect on how we'd feel. I worked terribly hard to get where I am in life. First in my family to get A-levels, first to go to university. I went to the University of Oxford. I became a barrister.
Lucky
I
devil.
consider myself respectable. But let's be absolutely honest. Tomorrow, a police officer may very well end up on my front door. I don't know how I'd react, but I would like to listen to my own advice. Stay calm. Don't panic. A knock at the door does not mean anything automatically. And a lot of the time, these officers are quite quick to point out that they're not arresting you. Good. Listen to them. If they're not arresting you, you don't have to let them in. Okay? So don't let them in. I'm actually at that stage. I would be polite to the officers personally, but I would not let them in my house. I think years ago, when we were in a different place as a country, I would have invited them in, given them tea, given them biscuits, given them cake, had a lovely chat with the officers. No. If they're not there to arrest you, don't let them in. Stay calm and be polite. I think record everything. So record it on your phone, or if you're lucky enough to have a doorbell camera, that will do it for you.
Now, how many times have you seen videos of the police saying, do you mind not filming? We're wearing body cams, so it's fine. Yeah, right, mate. Your body cams are about as reliable as the weather. You know, how many times has somebody gone to court and all of a sudden, the body cam footage from the police has been taped over, mislaid. It wasn't their body cam. They borrowed it from a colleague, and oh my God, the footage is now lost, or it's been deleted. So always get your phone out, record, no matter what the police say. You have every right to do so.
The police can ask to come into your house, but you don't have to let them. It's your house. That's the whole point. It's your house. This is your safe space.
Yep.
They can only come in if they have a warrant.
Yep.
Or if they want to arrest you for an indictable offence, and we'll get onto that a bit later. If they say they have a warrant, ask to see it and get that on camera. Then, if they don't, thank you very much for coming, officer. This is terribly
Close the door.
Get back to my evening's activities or day's activities. You can close the door on them.
Yep.
You can use reasonable force if they're wronging officers and they're trying to force their way into your property. You can use reasonable force to stop them. That's perfectly lawful. I personally would only do it if it was on camera and I had the confidence that it was all on camera.
Now, here's the question I'd like to ask him. How many people they would love to do it, but the minute you go to do that to the officer, yeah, it's like flat palm, it's not closed, it's a flat open palm, yeah, you're not coming in, mate, stay there, you're not there. What happens? The size 13 boot goes in the door, doesn't it? It goes right in the door frame, so you can't close the door on them. So what's he saying? Because if you push that officer, that's assault, and he's got you straight away. So this is where I'd like to actually ask Barrister Barrett how it could be considered reasonable. Because straight away, that officer that you just pushed back, or one of the colleagues, because they never turn up alone, you guarantee there's at least 2 to 4 of them, maybe, that will be there, right? They will put you in handcuffs. Because it depends. If they're in the mood and they want to arrest you, they will. They will make anything up just to put them cuffs on you, get you in the back of the car, down to the local Nick. So I'd like to chat with him about that particular saying that he's just used.
Because bad officers can lie, and bad officers can be believed. And I'm afraid we live in a time of bad officers. Never overshare. Don't tell the police officers anything. Ask the police officer for their badge number and their identification. Ask the police officer to explain why they are there in detail. And if they will not tell you, say, well, officer, I'll just pause because I can talk quickly sometimes. Officer, I cannot respond to something if you will not explain. Then stay silent. Silence is quite an important, powerful control mechanism you have at your disposal.
First words if they arrest you should be, you have the right to remain silent. So yeah, choose it.
Don't overshare. Use silence. The officer must explain why they are there. If it is relating to a potential offence, simply say, officer, I need time to take legal advice. I need time to take independent legal advice, which you know I'm entitled to, officer. If the officer tries some of these bully boy tactics and says, well, if you don't talk to me, I'm going to arrest you, then I want you to say these words. Officer, that is a deeply inappropriate thing for you to have said. I am very sorry for you that you have said it. I will be reporting you for those comments. They are on video. Because police officers do not get to bully citizens of this United Kingdom in order to say things under threat of potential arrest.
Now let's just take that advice in. Just what he just said, right there. In fact, let me just go back a sec.
For those comments, they are on video. Because police officers do not get to bully citizens of this United Kingdom.
I'm sorry for those comments, they are on video.
Threat of potential arrest. A police officer must arrest if they think a crime is being committed. That's their job. If they don't think a crime is being committed, then they should not be bullying and threatening you with the threat of it. If they say, if you do not talk to me now, you will have to come in for an interview. You'll have to say, well, you should say, officer, I only have to come in if you're going to arrest me. Are you going to arrest me? And I'm afraid this is the line we're going to have to take. These are bullies, weak human beings and cowards. I expect many of them would back down at this point, and I seriously suggest you simply close the door. If you want to be very cautious, give the officer a means of contacting you. But you can also simply say, officer, you may write to me at this address. This is my residence. This is where I live. Officer, you have no reasonable grounds to believe that I won't continue to live here. So, there's an issue. Write to me. Thank you, officer, for your time. I will not be cooperating with you any further. Now, I did say that the officer has one right, under an act called the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, to force their way into your home. Now, the law, I'm sorry if you've seen me on other things, you'll know that I think our entire legal system is in a flabby, fat and bad way. But it's not so bad.
No.
The officer just has a right to break into your home, which is what they'd be doing. An officer may enter somebody's home, enter your house, if they think an indictable offence is being committed. Now, indictable just means very serious. Okay, so that's rape, murder, the big stuff. If the officer has come over social media, it's nowhere near the big stuff. When I said that our laws have got flabby, because they have, there is a possibility under Section 17 of PACE to enter under the Public Order Act. But the officer can only enter if he believes that there is a danger of immediate unlawful violence. will be used against a person. And you simply say to the officer, "Officer, there is no danger of immediate unlawful violence. If somebody is upset by my tweet, somebody is upset by my Facebook post, that's very much on them. Officer, my intention is to, let's just take me, spend the evening on the sofa with a cup of tea and maybe more biscuits than I ought to and watch television. So, officer, there is no threat of immediate unlawful violence by me having a cup of tea and some biscuits and watching television."
Having a hobnob.
I hope that this video will help you. It is no substitute for independent legal advice. Please join the Free Speech Union. Please like and subscribe to my channel. If you found this helpful, I'm going to be doing more of these simple explanations of law. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm explaining law in exactly the same way my law tutors explained it to me 26 years ago. I think it's time. We all need to understand our laws. And if we're going to get out of this mess, I think that's the best way we can go forward. So I hope this is useful to you. I hope it's helpful to you. If you need further clarity, please put it in the comments. I will read them, and I will look forward to doing an update video. I'm not a criminal barrister, but I've got a criminal barrister friend who I'm looking to do more of these with whenever they touch on crime. But these are very straightforward,
I
simple
wonder what
rules.
type of barrister he is
An
then.
Englishman's home is his castle. You are safe in your home.
You'd like to think
I want
that.
to keep you safe in your home. Thank you.
Right. Do you know what? I think I may actually write in his comments about the question that I have regarding the reasonable force to stop the police entering your property. Because if you put your hand out and you push back on that officer, straight away he can say assault, affray, which is even worse, right? Because for an affray, you can look at 5 years in Nick for that, right? And it is something really silly. You can put your hand on someone's shoulder. That can be considered a fray. It all depends on the Crown prosecution. But yeah, I hope what you just heard gives you... Actually, let me just do something. Boom! There we go. I hope what you just watched helps if you get the knock on the door. I know a lot of people will watch this, and if they ever did get the knock on the door, what this barrister has just told you what to say just goes out of your head, doesn't it? Because your first thing is, oh, what have I done? What have I done? And they're like, oh, well, we're here because of blah, blah, blah. And your first instinct is just to go off on them. No, I didn't. What? You having a laugh? I mean, because it ain't just recent posts that they'll knock on your door for. You know, how many times has people had a knock on the door? So they wrote 10, 15 years ago. It's like, how do you expect me to believe, to remember that? I don't even remember what I said yesterday. And you're expecting 10, 15 years ago. So it does get very complicated. But I'm guessing the general gist of what he was saying, I do get. Yeah? If they're there and it's to do with social media, then yes, take his advice. Okay? Do you have a warrant? No. Okie dokie. Bye. Close door. That's what I'd do anyway. And then if they carry on, you just make sure you get everything on video. They cannot stop you at all. But here's the thing. Let's say they do get you down to the local police station, and obviously you want legal advice. Well, you can ask them to provide your solicitor. They'll give you a duty solicitor. They could be busy. You could be waiting there all night. If it's a Friday, you're not going to see them till probably Monday. So, yeah, it might be a little while. But what they might do as well is ask you. They'll give you your phone. And if you want to call him, you unlock your phone. Then they've got your phone. Always think, yeah. Don't ever let them see your phone either. That's another thing. What is on your phone, unless they have a warrant to search it, don't. Right, guys, I'll leave that there. I hope you found this interesting and informative. Yeah, please, like I said, share the crap out of this. Alright, so that people are not so angry when they get the knock on the door. People are nice and calm and things go swimmingly. I'll catch you later.